How am I doing? How am I doing? Well, I'm doing better now that you're here. Hi, mommy is ill. I'm sorry.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? This is Dr. Pizza, Alan Caesar III.
Welcome back, folks. I meant to take a longer break for myself here, but, these predators won't expose themselves. So, today's video may be a little shorter, maybe even a little more organized. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, today we're exposing a VR chat Genshin predator who has been on the scene for a very long time. So, buckle up, folks. All began with a ticket being created on my server in which an individual expressed a desire to expose or spread awareness about this harmful individual named Pineapple Pizza on VR chat. And of course, when you've been on the virtual scene for a while, you're destined to make a couple of name changes here and there. I would know. I've literally changed my name thousands of times on Roblox and VR chat, so just for the sake of doing so. But anyways, according to our ticket creator, Pineapple Pizza has gone by very many aliases, such as Crispy Bacon, Fake Japanese Kid, Mega Man, and Udon Noodles. He possibly has dozens of other usernames that we don't know about currently, so just make sure to keep your peepers peeled for this predator. You never know what kind of corner he's waiting around to grab you, so just keep your eyes peeled, alright folks? Pineapple Pizza is an incredibly active and hated user on the VR chat Genshin, or Hoyoverse fanbase scene. The ticket creator states that Pineapple Pizza's reputation became disgusting and questionable, and they launched their own private investigation into this individual, which rightfully so it sounds like. According to the individual who led this investigation on Pizza, they would always find someone who had interacted with Pizza in every instance or lobby of VR chat Hoyoverse worlds that they visited. Some of the folks they asked have even had very negative first-hand experiences with the individual themselves, some of which were just overall blatant over-sexualization of underage characters, which in my eyes is already a huge red flag, by the way. Supposedly, there have also been dozens upon dozens of reports about Pineapple Pizza involving themselves in erotic roleplay with minors on VR chat. Seriously, that's disgusting. Both the sexualization of underage characters and doing sexual deeds with minors is downright repulsive, truly repulsive. There's just no other words for it. The person creating the ticket states that they've seen Pineapple firsthand demonstrate how concerning his behavior is around underage girls or younger women. The last reported incident with Pineapple occurred around the previous year, around the month of December. Pineapple was encountered in a public world trying to coax two other girls into a private world, which is actually genuinely disgusting, by the way. The ticket tells us that the individual was 19 that he was trying to coax into the world privately, which we know isn't below the age of consent. Still, Pineapple was 38 years old at the time, turning almost 39. It is very concerning, especially given what we know he's already interested in regarding girls and women. Cough, younger audience, by the way, for Pizza. He likes them young. We're told Pizza didn't even bother to ask for these girls' age. Why? Why don't you ask for their age? What if she had been 14 or 15? What would you have done, Pizza? Would you have continued to do strange things with this girl? I genuinely, I guess we'll never know. But either way, it's still weird considering you're almost 40 years old trying to erotically roleplay with someone who's quite literally almost half your age. You are almost 40 years old, and I shouldn't have to remind you of that. Again, before you guys storm off to the comments and tell me that 39 and 19 isn't illegal, I'm very aware of that fact, that it's not unlawful, but it's still morally questionable, and especially for an almost 40-year-old in my eyes. This guy is still for sure a predator, and he'll even admit to that later, so go ahead, prepare yourselves for that. The anonymous ticket creator acknowledges that there may not be enough evidence to convict this man of being a, quote, predator, and well, I gotta agree, there's not a whole lot to go on other than disgusting behaviors that could still be classified as predatory and questionable. Definitely questionable. Very gross. But to be sure, here's a clip from the ticket creator.
I ERP'd with underage people, and I have to live with that the rest of my life. I've cried and been crying. I almost took my life. I've never seen them nude. I don't want to, and I never will. And I mean, were they close to 18? Yes. It had stopped completely in the summer of last year, and I had one relapse in February. I don't remember how many there were. I think it was like 6 altogether. They were all 16 and 17, except the first one was 14, and I had to live with that. So yeah, that is my darkest secret.
In the first few seconds of the clip, Pinapple instantly admits to role-playing with underage people and acknowledges that he has to live with it for the rest of his life. And to be honest with you, I had to stop right there and do a lap around my room because I was so frustrated, but also excited because normally predators don't admit to the things they've done now these days. So that doesn't make it any better by any means, but at least he admitted to being a disgusting piece of trash. And you know what, Pinapple? You shouldn't have been role-playing with underage, quote, people in the first place. It's disgusting. You're 40 years old. You should have a job and you should be out there contributing to society. But I guess there are other ways to contribute to society. Maybe like a prison chef or a permanent community service. Either way works, really. Also, when you admit to doing things with minors, you say people instead of singular person, and you say 6 different individuals, which implies that you've done this multiple times. Perhaps I'm reading too much into this, maybe I'm not, but it's just downright disgusting. There's no other words. You admit to taking advantage of several minors, several innocent individuals who haven't matured enough to consent, and you have the gall to sit here and claim that you have to live with these actions for the rest of your life. No, those minors, those innocent children that you have scarred permanently, they have to live with those scars that you gave them forever. Trauma. You've traumatized them. And now you've admitted to it. You're not a victim. You're the predator. Don't ever say crap like, oh, I'll have to live with this forever. Dude, you deserve to be on the predator watch list. Seriously. This just managed to piss me off so much. I just can't believe you can sit here and say this crap. Anyways, sorry, we're moving on. Pinapple then goes on to state that he's never seen any of the underage people nude. And to that I say, brother, regardless of you not seeing them naked, you still have solicited a minor, erotically roleplayed with a minor. You still took advantage of them. You still roleplayed with them. This doesn't negate anything you've done already. It doesn't negate anything. You saying that you don't want to see them nude doesn't negate the fact that you've already roleplayed with them. I sincerely doubt you haven't already tried to solicit them for nudes anyways. We already know what kind of person you are. No, monster that you are. So don't even try to pull that crap, dude. Seriously, we're tired of it. Again, Pinapple admits that he knew their ages and still went through with his actions. And I genuinely just have to ask, why? Why would you do something like this if you know it's wrong? What kind of sick and twisted person do you have to be to act like this in your mid-30s? Also, I see you're playing Genshin Impact while having this call. Maybe stop playing the game and focus on the very severe and genuine conversation that you're having about you being a piece of crap instead of artifact grinding. Seriously, buddy, get off Genshin Impact. Finally, Pinapple tells us that he's been significantly depressed and relapsed several times as a desperate excuse for the predatory actions that he has done. So, which is it, Pinapple? Are you sorry for your actions, or are you not sorry and trying to cover your butt with excuses of alcoholism? Seriously, dude, make up your mind. I'm not buying it. A lot of us are mentally unhealthy, but you don't see us walking outside to the nearest kindergarten and asking them to come home with us like Drake would. Pinapple then tells us that the age range of these individuals he erotically roleplayed with ranged from 15 to 17 and then finally 14. A 14-year-old. And you're what? 38 at the time of this erotic roleplay session that you're doing with this minor? You don't belong in prison. You don't belong in solitary confinement. You belong in a purgatory. There's genuinely no better place for sick people like you, Pinapple. Genuinely. No better place. Oh my goodness. The ticket creator then tells us that Pinapple isn't just a VR chat predator. He's in fact been around for a very long time on the internet overall. We learned that Pinapple Pizza, formerly known as Dr. Pizza, who might be a relative of Dr. Disrespect, was quite the big shot on YouTube back in the day for his SMNF or SMF. I don't know what that is, but I believe it's wrestling game commentaries. You guys might know what I'm talking about. Anyways, here's the video I played towards the start of the video in which Pinapple rambles on about wanting to, quote, get something off of his chest real quick.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? This is Dr. Pizza, Alan Caesar III, SMF extra commentary person. Where the hell have I been, you ask? I don't know. Ask Bob Ross. But anyway, I just want to get this thing off my chest real quick. When I posted that review thing about SMF's show, I am in no way, shape, or form trying to make SMF like ACWL, okay? I never had Mr. Rogers in my league, okay?
This something in question, as you probably can't see probably in the 240 pixels video. Sorry about the quality, that's just how it was back in the day on YouTube. It's stated in the text on screen that Dr. Pizza was watching 15-year-old girls piss in a cup before creating this video. Disgusting. Seriously, genuinely gross, dude. What is wrong with you? You're an adult, soon to be considered a grandfather in my book, and you're out here acting like this and thinking it's acceptable to erotically roleplay with 14-year-olds and watch 15-year-old girls piss in a cup. You are by far one of the worst predators I've ever heard of or dug into, and I hope something gets done about your disgusting behavior.
How you felt about age gaps, and I was sad and I left. Do you remember now? Has a lot to do with a mixture of all those things. It's one of many reasons why well, let me ask you something. Your parents are how old? I forgot. I don't remember. Okay. And like, how old for you does it start to like get you kind of concerned? Because I understand you're 19 and stuff, but like, you seem like the type of person that could love somebody regardless, as long as they're not old enough to be like your grandpa or like really old. You know what I mean? Once I find your answer out, I'll explain the truth to you, even though it should be obvious. Would you make an exception if you got to know a person better? Because I know it takes time to get to know a person. Even if they were as old as I am. Because I don't have any control over my age. And I just like your personality a lot. And that's why I got sad. Okay, look, I'm 38. I'm not out to push myself on you. I'm not looking for a relationship due to trauma. A lot of trauma that you do not know. And I'm scared to tell you. All I'm saying is if you got to know me, and for like and stuff like that, and you felt a connection with me, would you be able to put my age aside? That's all I'm asking.
In this clip, you can see that Pinapple is explaining his viewpoint on age gaps. He believes that it's alright to make an exception based on age if you know them, quote, better. Pinapple, there are no exceptions when it comes to age. There is no, quote, getting to know a person better, quote. Pinapple, let me remind you again, you are almost 40 years old, and they're 19. It is bizarre, beyond bizarre, to discuss this with a 19-year-old. It's almost like you're weirdly self-aware and you know what you're doing is weird, but you keep doing it. Even if this person wasn't underage, we don't know the age of the other person here in the VR chat world with you, but we know that you've made several exceptions to, quote, get to know others who are genuinely actually underage, such as the 14-year-old and the 16-year-olds that you've erotically roleplayed with, and then the 15-year-olds that you watched pee in a cup. Overall, genuinely everything here is just a bad look. And also, to answer your final question, will we be able to put your age aside? No! Age is not just a number. It's how old you are and how developed you are. And you like to prey on underdeveloped minors. You're not getting any forgiveness from anyone ever. Also, why did you have to use the Sino avatar? I liked Sino, man. Now I've got a negative association. Thanks a lot, dude. Before I covered this topic, a well-done documentary on Dr. Pizza by Anomaly Analysis covered this monstrous and disgusting individual in depth, way more in depth than I can and have. You can watch that video as well. I'll put a link in the description below. Finally, we'll end it off by reading a concerning comment under the video created about Dr. Pizza's disgusting actions. Previously, Dr. Pizza, or Pinapple Pizza, used to go by Huggin' These Nuts on VRChat in the year of 2016, and he still played up until about last year of December. Even back then, he would prey on pre-teens and teens and try to have a relationship with them or roleplay with them sexually. He did this to not one, but several, many different kids, and even tried to coerce this commenter into dating him while they were underage as well. Honestly, Pizza, you are one of the most disgusting and monstrous individuals I've ever had to make a video on. I hope you get put behind bars, or worse, solitary confinement or purgatory, for doing these vile actions and crap for so long. Dr. Pizza, I really genuinely can't stand your guts, and nor can I stand to talk about your sickening bullcrap any longer. On that note, folks, I hope you guys enjoyed the shorter video, aside from all the disgusting crap you've seen and heard today. Until next time, y'all, peace. And remember, if you have something to report, please remember to join the Discord server and drop your ticket there, and I'll take a look at it for you. Until then, see you later.